Do you sit for more than 6 hours a day? At work, at home, during your commute? If so, your health could be in more danger than you think. Modern science now compares prolonged sitting to smoking. Yes, sitting is being called the new smoking. But what does that really mean? Is it just an exaggeration, or is there hard science behind it? Let's dive deep into what happens to your body when you sit too much, why it's quietly damaging millions of people worldwide, and most importantly, what you can do, starting today, to reverse the risks. It sounds harmless, doesn't it? Sitting. We do it to rest, to work, to relax, to travel. But underneath the surface, a dangerous process begins. When you sit, your body shifts into a low energy state. Muscles go unused. Blood circulation slows. Your calorie burn drops significantly. Over time, this leads to more than just weight gain. It changes the way your body functions. Your metabolism slows. Your insulin sensitivity drops. Your body stores more fat, especially around the abdomen. Studies show that people who sit for more than 6 to 8 hours a day are at a significantly higher risk for type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer. But how exactly? Let's look at the science. When you sit, your large leg and glute muscles are completely inactive. These are some of the biggest calorie-burning muscles in your body. With them turned off, your calorie expenditure plummets. That alone might not sound terrifying, until you understand what happens next. Insulin, the hormone that helps regulate blood sugar, becomes less effective. Your pancreas ends up working overtime to produce more insulin. This can lead to insulin resistance, one of the earliest steps toward diabetes. At the same time, enzymes that break down fat in your bloodstream drop by as much as 90%. That means more fat stays in your blood, raising your triglyceride levels and clogging your arteries. And guess what? Even if you exercise for 30 minutes a day, it may not be enough to offset the damage caused by sitting for the rest of the day. That's the most shocking part. The human body wasn't designed for this much stillness. So, why do doctors call sitting the new smoking? Because, like smoking, sitting has become a ubiquitous habit with long-term, cumulative health consequences. And like smoking, many people do it without realizing the damage it causes, until it's too late. Research published in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that prolonged sitting was associated with a 22% higher risk of all-cause mortality. Another study from the American Cancer Society found that women who sat for more than 6 hours per day were 37% more likely to die prematurely than those who sat for less than 3 hours. The damage affects your heart, reduced circulation, increased cholesterol, and greater risk of heart attacks. Brain. Less physical activity leads to reduced blood flow to the brain, impacting memory and mood. Lungs. Poor posture while sitting restricts lung expansion, reducing oxygen intake. Bones. Decreased bone density and higher risk of osteoporosis over time. And like smoking, the longer you do it, the harder it becomes to reverse the damage. But there is hope. And it starts with awareness. It's not just about physical health. Sitting too long can affect your mental state, too. Researchers have linked sedentary behavior to higher rates of anxiety and depression. When you sit for hours without moving, your body produces fewer endorphins. Your blood flow to the brain slows, impacting how you think, feel, and respond to stress. People who sit longer report more fatigue, less motivation, and worse sleep. One theory is that humans evolved to move constantly, and when we suppress that basic need, it disturbs our internal chemistry. No wonder so many people feel tired after a day of doing nothing. You might be thinking, okay, I sit a lot, but I'm not overweight or unhealthy. That's the tricky part. The consequences of sitting don't always show up right away. They build silently over months, even years. Your posture worsens. Your back and neck ache more often. You develop tight hip flexors, weak core muscles, and stiff joints. Eventually, it affects your gait, your balance, and your ability to move freely. And in older adults, prolonged sitting is linked to muscle loss, poor mobility, and increased fall risk. Even office workers in their 30s and 40s are developing chronic lower back pain, sciatica, and disc issues, conditions that used to be common only in older populations. Yes, cancer. Multiple large-scale studies have found a link between prolonged sitting and increased risk of colon cancer, endometrial cancer, lung cancer. The mechanism is still being studied, but one reason may be related to inflammation. When you sit too long, inflammatory markers in your blood begin to rise. Chronic low-level inflammation is now recognized as a key factor in cancer development, as well as many other diseases. Another factor is excess insulin and blood sugar spikes. Cancer cells thrive in high glucose environments. This is why even non-obese individuals who are sedentary may still be at risk. It's not just about weight, it's about what your body is doing when you're still. Here's the good news. You don't need to quit your job or become a gym addict to combat sitting. Small, consistent actions can make a huge difference. Let's go through the most effective strategies. Stand every 30 minutes. Use a timer or app to remind yourself to stand up every half hour. Even standing for 2 to 3 minutes helps reset your circulation. Take walking meetings. Replace phone or Zoom calls with a walk. Walking increases creativity, energy, and focus. Use a standing desk. Alternate between sitting and standing throughout the day. Aim for a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 ratio. Stretch regularly. Focus on hip flexors, hamstrings, and spine mobility. Just 5 minutes of stretching can reverse hours of tightness. Incorporate micro workouts. 60 seconds of squats, lunges, or jumping jacks every hour adds up. Walk after meals. A 10-minute walk after eating helps stabilize blood sugar and digestion. Track your steps. Aim for at least 7,000 to 10,000 steps per day. Use a smartwatch or pedometer to stay accountable. These strategies not only reduce the health risks of sitting, but they also improve energy, focus, and productivity throughout the day. Think about how your day is structured. Most of us wake up, sit during breakfast, drive to work, sit at a desk, sit at lunch, drive home, then sit again during dinner and TV. That's 12+ hours of sitting, often without even noticing. We need a culture shift. Employers can encourage walking breaks, movement-friendly workspaces, and active meetings. At home, we can change how we spend leisure time, from sitting with screens to moving with family. The body is designed to move, not just for exercise, but all day long in short, frequent bursts. We need to bring back that rhythm. The results are powerful. Within days of reducing sitting time, blood sugar levels stabilize, posture improves, focus and energy increase, sleep becomes deeper and more restful over time. Inflammation drops, risk of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer decreases, muscle tone improves, longevity increases. One study found that replacing just 30 minutes of sitting with light activity reduced the risk of early death by 17%. That's not from running marathons. That's from small changes, done consistently. We've been taught to fear smoking, to avoid sugar, to get more sleep. But now, we need to recognize the new silent killer, sitting. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. Stand more. Move more. Break the pattern of stillness. Build a lifestyle that keeps you energized, mobile, and thriving. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Human Health Hub. We bring you science-backed insights to help you live longer, healthier, and stronger every single day. See you in the next video.